Hey guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hey, it's Danny. Is it Dones or Duns?
Dones, yeah, you got it.
Danny Dones and PHILLIP Cordell. How's it going?
So great to be here. Big fans of what you guys do, and hugely thankful for your support of indie film, man.
Oh, of course. Well, Absolutely. Thank you so much. Before I want to show the trailer for your movie because people will not believe it until they see it. But Clone Cops, is it out today?
It's been out. We came out last Friday, so January 31st it came out. Yeah, it's available on all platforms, TVOD platforms right now.
And give us the pitch for this movie before I want to show people what this is so they get a taste.
Yeah, man, it's so the movie's about a gang of criminals that have to defend their hideout against a replicating police force known as the Clone Cops. The more clones they kill, the more they make, the dumber they get. So that's kind of the basic overview of it.
Yeah. And that, like, from thought process, when you thought up the idea for the film to getting it released, how long was that?
About 2.5 years, right? Danny and I co-wrote the film together.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Danny and I, that's really great. Yeah, man. And so we wrote it in about 6 months and we're shooting. We shot in October of 2022. So we're coming up, we just rolled over 2 years, coming up into 2.5 years since we shot. And so
and
maybe
And where did you shoot it? Sorry. Where did you shoot?
We shot the whole movie here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's actually the whole movie shot in one location. So we were able to find an abandoned mental hospital that we shot in, and and we just changed it. We shot in different rooms to get different looks and stuff. And there's some sets that we didn't even touch. There's a whole like boiler room set that we just walked into, and we're like, "Hey, this is dressed. We're ready to go. Let's shoot."
Wow.
Let's just say there are a lot of abandoned mental hospitals all across the nation. So
yeah. Let's take a look at the trailer and we'll talk about it on the other side. The trailer is 98 seconds. Let's go.
They replaced real cops years ago. When one of them dies, they just recycle them to make more clone cops.
We've got something pretty special brewing over here.
Isn't that neat?
All right, let's make some replicants.
Okay, this place was designed to keep people like us out. It's a rigged system. It's only rigged if you play by the rules.
We have a live feed coming in from every single replicant in the field.
Welcome to the party.
And we're going to show you all the action up close and personal.
How do I look?
Stupid.
What the hell was that?
Freeze, criminal scum.
Have you been having sex with the replicants? Aren't you afraid of catching a clone mini?
These guys serious?
I said dance.
Behind you!
You gotta be jazzed at the scoreboard. One clone down, one criminal down.
Mama said not keep.
Oh no.
Okay, enough goofing around. Let's get serious. I'm ready.
I'm gonna go kill this thing.
Good luck, moron. I live in space. Bye!
Everybody, go. We are already on surveillance, and now they're sending in special forces.
Whoa!
They weren't that special.
Ooh, shiny.
Hurry up, come on. This is all I've ever wanted.
We will find you.
Oh, you sweet, sexy son of a...
Clone Cops.
I'm pumped. Let's get you a gun.
There you have it.
That's it.
Magic.
That's awesome. How did you design the outfit of the Clone Cops, that kind of mask thing?
Yeah, so I had a friend that I went to college with who's a great graphic designer and artist, and we both love the same kind of stuff. We grew up watching Star Wars and stuff together, and we kind of speak the same nerd language. So I reached out to him, and he did a bunch of concept art for us. And he worked at Fruit of the Loom for a long time, so he had this like background in corporate design, and so he kind of put some of his thoughts into where like the design was made by like committee, so like every VP got to put their thumbprint on it. So that was kind of our idea, was it's this thing that is terrible because so many people got to say what's going into it, kind of thing. And then from there we just 3D printed the helmets and went with that. And we kind of felt like you know, this is our chance to do something interesting and iconic. Like I kind of going back to, I was like, if I, you know, this is my Boba Fett helmet kind of thing. Like this is the chance to make that, you know, something that's going to stand out and really grab attention.
Well, I mean, you obviously could do merch from it.
Yeah,
So
the popcorn level.
There you go.
Yeah.
I put myself to sleep every night with my giant.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Hey, we have over 1,300 people watching live. We have comments and questions in our chat. You want to talk to the chat? Let's go.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Okay. From Solomon Thornton, greetings, Sir Philip and Sir Daniel. What was your writing process? And I put up like actor, director, but you know, on a small indie movie, I'm sure you guys had 5 jobs.
All the hats.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Philip and I co-wrote the movie. So he was a writer as well. And then, you know, on set, he was spitballing and ad-libbing stuff all day long. So that writing process continued through. But yeah, we start out with, you know, just the Save the Cat was what we started with. Yeah. We used that book and it's been very good for us. And we started to just outline and then beat board. And from there, we went through, what was it, like 9 or 10 drafts. We had a table read at one point, and when we left the table read, we compared notes, and we both had one big note scribbled on the front of the page, which was needs to be funnier. So we went back to the drawing board and kind of started from scratch there and changed a lot of stuff. And and we were writing up right up until the week before we started shooting. We were doing new drafts.
And I have a question. What's the film scene like in Nashville? Because I first of all, I love Nashville. I would maybe like to live there someday. Who knows? But there is a film scene there. You're not the first filmmakers I've talked to that are from Nashville. Can you tell me what the film scene is like there?
Yeah, I would say there's the indie film scene of which, you know, we're trying to plant our flag, you know.
Right.
You're right. There are other indie filmmakers in town, many of whom are our friends. We don't have the kind of tax credits that some of our neighboring states, Georgia or even Kentucky, have. So we don't have quite as large of an indie film scene. But there's a few of us all trying to do our things, and it's just such a cool community to get to be a part of. And then Danny has been working professionally in TV and film here. Right, Danny?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a show right now. Blumhouse and Amazon are doing that we're shooting here in town. So there is, you know, we do have some larger productions in town.
More questions from our chat. The nerd far away. Hail, Mr. Cordell and Mr. Dones. How difficult is it to get permission when using music for movies?
Do you have money? Because that's really the only thing that mattered, you know? Man, we've got some rad music in our film, and it's all licensed from here in Nashville. And some of it we were swinging above our pay grade, but had some friends that could get to some of the artists. You know, and if an artist really wants the song in the movie, they can typically lean on their publishing company. If they own the master side, you know, there's 2 sides, the master side and the publishing side. You got to clear both sides. So it's a lot of paperwork. You know, how difficult is it to get permissions? It's a pain in the butt, frankly, but it's just a necessary thing if you want to keep your paperwork in order and do it the right way. And we had one song that Danny and I had gone to Bonnaroo. We were like, let's go to Bonnaroo and really crack this movie, you know? And we saw some acts, you know, and saw one performer, and there was a great song. And we were like, that's going in Clone Cops. And we worked with them, you know, and we worked with them and we got a festival license to use the song in the movie. And it's a banger. And then when it came, you know, when we got distribution, albeit an indie distribution deal, right? So we're not getting the kind of giant upfront money that maybe people used to get back in the early 2000s and the 90s. And we went back to their label, which happened to be Warner Brothers, and we're like, yeah, here's what we got. And they're like, oh, that's a 30th of what you're going to need, you know? So, I mean, it's just a fact of life, you know, for this sort of thing. So a lot of hoops to jump through, but certainly worthwhile and adds so much production value to your film. I think it's always worth it to get great music if you can.
And Laura Buckles says, I'm going to sign off all my emails with good luck, morons. I live in space. Bye.
Yeah, that seems to be the standout line from the movie. That's definitely one of the more quotable ones. And we already stuck it on a t-shirt, so we know it's out there.
Caveat Ties, how did you go about gathering your crew?
I've, like Philip said, I've been working in film here for 15 years. So I've worked with a bunch of great people that I knew and that I liked working with. And so a lot of those folks we already kind of knew we were going to reach out to. The other thing that we kind of tried to do with this movie was give everybody an opportunity to move up a position. So if you're, you might be an on-set costumer or something like that, we're like, well, why don't you come design for us on this? And in doing that, you kind of give people an opportunity, and maybe you'll get some great work, and that fits within your budget range, because we could not pay union rates. We just didn't have the budget for that. So part of the pay scale kind of ends up being opportunity to jump up and get a credit and do something that you don't normally get to do, that you want to move into. So that was part of it for us as well.
And question from Aid Ellis 24: was the plan always for Philip to portray the role of Clone, or was that something that happened because he was available on the shoot?
That was always the plan. Danny and I write a ton of stuff, and I'm usually in it, and he's usually directing it. We've got a great shorthand. But the real deal with this, we're like, what if we make Clone Cops? If we run out of money, we can just finish the movie, me and you. We know that's all we need. And you guys saw the trailer. It's wacky, it's wild, and I think if you see the film, yeah, there's a lot of silly clone stuff, but we've layered in some kind of commentary about a lot of stuff that's shaking out in the world right now, from the tiny cameras everywhere to the kind of commodification of the workforce that we're all experiencing. And so, getting to play the silly clones was probably the fun kind of silly version that helped us pass all that other stuff under the radar.
And you secured the website clonecopsmovie.com.
Oh yeah,
I'm looking at it now.
We also have nefaricorp.com as well.
Well, there you go. And last question here from Aid Ellis 24: what have been the biggest changes you have seen over the past few years within the indie filmmaking scene in Nashville?
I think it's the same changes that you're seeing all over the country are definitely present in Nashville as well. I think the bar for entry has lowered to the point that if you've got a great idea, you have access to cameras and lighting gear and sound, and you can get out there and get your movie made. That's kind of the beauty of it, and it's also kind of the struggle, is that the marketplace is just inundated with great indie film right now, and it's how do you stand out? How do you make your mark and get some attention on your thing? So Nashville's got some really great projects coming out soon. So keep an eye on that space. But it's never been a better time to have a dream and an idea. That's for sure.
Well, Danny, Phil, congratulations. Thank you so much for talking with us. The movie is Clone Cops, in theaters, in limited release, also streaming. Go to clonecopsmovie.com. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show today. Take care.
Thanks for having us.